Hey everybody, this is Bill Reichart with William David Creative, and I am a UE4 noob, and this is a UE4 noob tutorial. And this tutorial is about random spawn points in your game. And this is the method that I used in a recent iOS game. The link for that iOS game, which is, by the way, totally free, will be in the description of this video. Yeah, I know it's a shameless plug. Anyway, I'm going to show you the method that I used for having two things. One thing is your enemy or whatever spawning at random points around your map, and then we're going to make buttons so that you can spawn your own character in subsets of those spawn points, also kind of randomly. So I'm using UE 4.23.1 because I'm scared to death to upgrade from what I've heard. And this has been reasonably stable, and I'm on Mac, just so you know. I don't think that makes a difference. So let's get started. So you can see I've got the basic template started up, and I've erased or deleted some stuff, and then I've labeled some stuff north, south, east, and west, and you'll see why we're doing that in a few minutes. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little dude in who's going to represent our enemy. So we're not actually going to make this character walk around or anything, but if you were going to do a character, that's probably how you do it. So we have this dude, and we're just going to make him, let's just make him a cube. We'll just leave it like that to start with. So we'll put this guy into the map. It's not going to do anything. Hit play. There he is. Okay, so now we're going to make another actor, and this is going to be a spawn point. And the idea behind this, like when I was making my game as a noob, I had no idea what I was doing, and I figured out how to make the ability to spawn to random points around the map. But then I wanted to make a totally separate set of random points for my own character, and you'll see that in a few minutes. And this kind of simplifies that process where you really only have one set of spawn points to do everything. So we're going to make a new blueprint class, and we're just going to call it spawn point. Okay, we don't need to do anything with this, really. It doesn't, unless you wanted to have some kind of geometry attached to it or something, you could do that, but we're not going to do that for this one. Okay, then I'm going to drop just 4 of these in here. Just one at the north, and then duplicate this, and of course not in the right position. Sorry, I am a noob, so I fumble around quite a bit, so forgive me. And I'm just option dragging this to duplicate it. I'll put one in the south. This is actually just probably easier in the wireframe view. And then we'll put one in the east. So now we have 4 spawn points. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now let's save it. So now we can go into our enemy, and we're going to make our enemy just kind of randomly jump between all those things. So we can get rid of the tick and get rid of the overlay. Event begin play. So what we want to do is we want to get all of those points and then choose a random one from the 4 and then move the dude to that point. and it's going to be kind of a loop too. So we are going to, first thing we're going to do is we're going to say get all actors of class. Oops, I can't spell very well either. So we can say get all actors of class, and that class is our spawn point. So, and then we want to get a copy. But we want to get a random one out of that collection. So that's an array. We want to get a random one out of the 4 that are there right now. So what we're going to do is drag out of here. We're going to say random, get a random integer and range. So the first one's going to be 0, but what is the last one? We want it to automatically count. So we can drag out of here again and do last index. So last index will give us the last one and the count of those characters, or those blueprints. So now it's going to get a random one between 0 and, in this case, 3, because there are a total of 4 starting with 0. So we're going to get that. We're going to get the location. I'll just say the default scene route. And then we're going to say nope, that's not what I want to do. Set actor location. So you can there are a lot of things you can do to make your actor, like if it's a walking actor or something like that, you can make them walk to that point or fly or whatever. I'm just doing this as a demonstration. It's going to just jump from place to place. So let's see if this even like works to start with. Okay, so yeah, so now the actor moved to the south location. So let's put a little loop in there so that he does it, let's say like every 5 seconds. So we'll do a delay. Barely see that because it's so small, but we're going to make that 5 seconds. When it's done, just do it again. Compile, save. Okay, so now this guy every 5 seconds should move to another location. Yep, there he goes. Now he's at the north. There's the west, south. It's kind of going in order. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so now you can see that it's moving around. So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. And we're going to come back to this, because basically what you can do is you can now drag these things out or just duplicate them as much as you want, anywhere you want on your map. And that guy is going to go to them randomly. So that's how you can spawn things randomly around the map. But before we do that, we're going to jump into the second part of this, which is making my character. I want my character to be able to choose between going to one of these 4 spawn points. Okay, so what we need to do, and we're going to do that using tags. So I can go to this spawn point, which is at the north, and I can, in my details panel, and look for tag. Where's tag? Maybe it's here. Oh, I do this all the time. I swear. There it is. So we're going to add a tag. We're going to call this, and you'll see why I'm jumping ahead in a little bit. So this is going to be the north. So now that actor, the spawn point BP that is in the north, has a north tag. Then we're going to do the same for on the west. We're going to add a tag, and you can see how you can add multiple tags if you need to. That's west. South. And then east. Okay, so now we have 4 tags, and if we hit play, our little cube dude is still gonna jump randomly between all of them. Like, it doesn't know the tags. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give my character the ability to know the tags. So let's jump into characters blueprint. Okay, let's do a new. And actually, this is wrong. We're going to do custom events. I may need that later, but let's just delete it for now. So we're going to do a custom event. Add custom event. And this one we're going to call Go North. So now we're going to do the same thing that we just did. We're going to do get all actors of class, but with tag. So now we're going to say get all actors of the spawn point class with the tag north. And then we're going to just, I'm going to copy and paste from here because I don't feel like typing it all out. It's all exactly the same. Well, I'll have to do, actually, yeah, I'll have to redo the get, but other than that, for some reason, and I don't really understand this enough, you have to redo the get. You can't copy and paste that stuff. So we're going to do that. Get rid of that. And we're going to have to do this 4 times. I wonder if... Okay, and we're not going to loop this one, so we're going to get rid of the delay. So now if we do go north, it's going to get all actors of class with the spawn point with the tag north. It's going to pick a random one, and then I'm going to go there. So basically, I want to have 3 or 4 spawn points in the north, and when I click a button, the actor is going to go to one of those 4 spawn points in the north. But I haven't had to make new spawn points for that. So now I'm going to reproduce this 3 times, and I'm going to speed up the video, and I'm not going to talk for this. So I'm going to do one for the east, one for the south, and one for the west. Okay, so now I've made the 4 custom events to go north, south, east, and west. And so now what we need is a HUD that the user can use to trigger those things. So let's start making that HUD. It's going to be a really down and dirty, really easy HUD. Okay, so we'll do add new widget blueprint, and we're going to call this. And I actually used this in my game for a teleport function, so that you can jump from place to place within the map. So this is going to be really, really down and dirty. We're just going to make a button, drag it out here, and we call this north button. Let's put some text in it. Just so we know what's what. Make it black. It's real high design here. I'm gonna speed this part up because you don't need to sit and watch me do this. Okay, so now we have our 4 buttons. Really awesome looking buttons, real high design here, folks. Okay, so now we're gonna go on pressed. First, let's get rid of all this other crap that we don't need. North button, we're going to cast to our character. And then get player character. I'm going to copy that because we're going to use it again in a minute. And we're going to say go north. So when we click that button, it's going to tell our character to go north. This is the south button. I just copied and pasted that, by the way. Go south. All right, compile, save. Compile, please. Save. Okay, so now we have to actually add the HUD to the character, and this is where we need event begin play. So we're going to say create widget, not HUD. HUD spawn, and then we're going to promote it to a variable. You do this so that later you can remove the HUD if you want to. We're not going to obviously do that here, but and then we're going to say add to viewport, and it works if you spell it right. Okay, so now when we hit play, now we have our HUD. And let's see, is our dude still jumping? Yeah, he just jumped to the same spot. Where is he? All right, so now he's there. Let's do it again. So if I go north, it moved me to the north. If I go south, it moved me to the south. I go east, oh, move me to the north, move me to the west. So my east button is wrong. So let's look at what I did wrong. Oh, this is a bug that drives me nuts. Button west, button east, go east. Oh, I didn't change the tags here, so that should fix that. So now what's happening is that when I hit one of those buttons, it's sending me to one of these points depending on which button I push. But now if this was like a really big map, you might have, you know, a city here or something like that, and you might want several spots from the south. And so now all I have to do is I can drag this out over to here. Let's put it over this way. And now we have 3 south spawn points because they all have the tag for the south. If I go to the east, I can do the same thing. I have 3. Whoop, there's 2. Now I have 3 spawn points for the east. Let's do just 2 for the north. And then let's do 3 again from the west. And so now when I click the west button, it's going to choose between these 3 west spawn points. If I choose the north button, it's going to choose between those 2. But this guy is still choosing between all of them. And I wonder if I can simulate this. Oh yeah, I can. Okay. So let's watch this guy. He's going to jump. So now he's jumping like those new points that I just made. He's jumping between them. And so you can imagine maybe if your enemy dies and you don't feel like spawning a new one, you can just move him to another point on the map. Or you could kill that and then spawn a new one in a random point on the map. But now when I go west, oh yeah, that doesn't work. So let's go play in editor. So when I go west, now I'm at one of the 3 spawn points. If I click west again, it's just moving me between those 3 points. If I go east, that's moving me between the 3 east points. If I go south, it's moving me between the 3 south points. And I go north, it's moving me between those 2 points. Doesn't move very much because there are only 2 of them. So that's basically how it works. And for me, that made it much easier to manage spawn points because I had something like 30 or something. And if I had done it the way I'd originally started to do it, I would have had like 60 spawn points. So this is much, much easier to manage. Anyway, that's it for now. And thanks for watching. And I'm going to do some more of these NOOB UE4 tutorials. All right, bye-bye.